The subject of our lecture is that today individualism is very much missing. There's many couples that look very much the same. And what we're trying to achieve in this lecture is that people realize the potential that they have themselves as dancers and they relate to the music. So we will use many examples of different parts of music. We mainly base everything around the Viennese waltz, strictly because the idea is to keep choreography simple, and so you have the possibility of expressing the music, the rhythm, through your own capabilities and through the own feelings that you associate with that music.
Good morning, everybody. Woo, this is loud. I know if there's a lecture on in the morning, straight after Champions League football game in the evening, where Barcelona won 3-0, it's very difficult to get everybody in the morning in there. But whoever is not here is missing something very special, because what we are talking about today, what is the main subject of our lecture, is individualism. Individualism is missing today in dancing. Many couples try to be perfect, but to be perfect, people look mostly the same, and many other lecturers will have said the same thing yesterday and will probably say the same thing tomorrow. So what we are trying to do this morning, we use a dance, the Viennese waltz, because we can keep the choreography very simple and we can show the differences of the couples, the differences of the possibilities in the couples. We don't have enormous amount of time, but I would like to tell you one thing. I've been in 24 finals of World and European Championships, and there was one particular moment in at that time, most famous competition in Blackpool, where there were, out of the 11 judges, I had 5 judges that I had regular lessons with. One of those judges, he wanted me to be very flexible, to use the back, to use really a lot of turn. So every time I passed this particular judge, I was trying to show off my possibility of turning my back. So then I came to another one, he was really into basics and the balance, and to be really on your toes, so I tried to show that. So once you get round the floor in Blackpool, which is equivalent to that floor, a very big floor, then you've done everything apart from one thing, your own dancing. Your own capability, your own flexibility, your own musicality, your own self is not in there. And everybody who knows Blackpool will know that around the floor there are mirrors. And I came off that floor, walking up to one mirror and looked into the mirror and said, "Don't do that again. Don't do that again." And that changed my whole approach. And from that moment on, I'm concentrating on what I wanted to do as a person, and mainly what I wanted to do as a couple. Can you just translate in Russian, the individualism that we wanted to show this morning?
Good morning. I was a Russian champion with my former partner, with Nikolai Kuznetsov, and I thought last year when we spoke only English, it was a little bit difficult for some of our colleagues that probably are very young and did not learn English so perfectly yet. So there will be a couple of things that I'm going just quickly to translate into Russian. Доброе утро. Сегодня мы будем говорить об индивидуальности и как использовать свою индивидуальность через музыкальность. Мы выбрали венский вальс, потому что хореография там очень простая. Очень простые шаги, их не нужно менять. И самое главное, найти средства. Это средство музыка. Как мы можем использовать свои таланты, свои возможности, свои ощущения. В течение лекции я буду немножко еще переводить на русский.
We have the pleasure of introducing 3 couples to you that we have asked, and they have accepted our invitation to be part of this lecture. First of all, a young, inspiring couple from Austria, and we have Clemens and Babsi. Secondly, we have Leonid and Sasha. Already established, very good couple. And of course, third of all,
and the third couple for me is a very special couple. We were just discussing that yesterday, that their first club was the club where I come from and Nikolai comes from, and one of their first lessons was with my former partner. Please welcome Vasily and Ekaterina.
So just to give them a very small sort of warm-up, because I hate if in a lecture couples are standing around and they are then supposed to be producing world-class performances and they don't have the chance of using that floor. If I can have all three couples, please, for a very short waltz. Thank you.
This is just a random waltz that any couple can get on the competition. Thank you very much. First swinging in the morning is always difficult.
Now, as you probably know, or most of you know, that in nowadays competition world, everybody has to have special qualifications. It doesn't matter if you're comparing the competition, if you're adjudicating the competition, if you're scrutinizing the competition, whatever you are involved in the competition setup has to have special permissions and licenses, except for one person. And that is the person that is producing the music. And there's many, many times in various competitions where it said, well, you from the club, you know something, you have the most CDs, or you know, you're good on the computer, so just get there and play us some music. And especially in a Viennese waltz, unfortunately, there is going to be music used that is not helping the couples. Now, I found a waltz that is not helping the couples, but according to the rule book, it has the right amount of bars per minute. It has 3 beats in a bar, so it qualifies for a waltz. Can I please have all the couples back? And they have absolutely no idea, so I'm actually trying to see what is going to happen now, because this is, according to the book, a waltz.
Thank you, guys. That was very courageous, yeah? But you can see the professionalism of these couples. First, there is a short smile. Then there's a pleasant smile at the partner. What idiots put us this music? And then we get on with our jobs.
Now, you have to imagine, this is your championship on every level. It doesn't matter which level. And I made the experience that my first club championship before I went into D class was just as nerve-wracking than a final of a world championship. It's the same level of enthusiasm and, you know, reaction in your body with adrenaline. So exactly at that moment, you get music that you hate. You have adjudicators like myself that you hate. You have a floor that is sticky or slippery or whatever, and you get music that you can't deal with. So we have a problem. And this is exactly what our lecture is about. We want to show the individualism of each couple, the possibilities of a couple, and what you as a couple can do. Because after all, my first teacher in Vienna said to me, a good couple always interprets the music. And the person that interprets the music the best will win. So I was 14 or something, or 15 at the time, I said to him, So if there's very bad music, the couple that dances the worst will win. No, the couple that dances best. So I said, well, if I'm supposed to be dancing my best, but it doesn't fit to the music, what happens? No, you're going to win the competition. So from that moment on, I thought maybe the relationship to the music is somehow distorted. And what we are going to do now is we do believe that all these three couples have their various strengths. And for example, Clemens and Babsi, we regard as somebody really challenging, somebody really sportive, somebody that wants to aggressively sort of more or less dance into the music. And they need music that supports that. So if we can have Clemens and Babsi, and we're going to use a Viennese waltz that we believe will show their strengths. Thank you very much. Can we have Leonid and Sasha, please? Thank you very much, too. And finally, can we have Vasily and Katerina, please? Now, you see many couples that we know and that we talk to excessively, they realize one thing. Normally, when one of us, my wife and I, when we are counting, then their dancing becomes different. And what I mean by that is that every couple has a different, what I said before, individuality and a different strengths. Now, for example, I hope you notice the differences in the three Viennese waltzes. All of these Viennese waltzes are widely used in competitions. Unfortunately, and we will get to that later on, we also use music that I do believe is undanceable, and these unfortunate dancers still have to compete to that. But if I count the music for Clemens and Babsi, what I would like to do, can we have Clemens and Babsi for a moment? What I'm trying to do is to emphasize the movement and the pickup on the two. So I would count it something like that. If you take up hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 and 2, 3, dum, bum, dum, bum, dum, and 1 and 2, 3, go 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, and so on. Thank you very much. We don't forget that the basics, meaning that your body weight has to go over your foot, over your standing leg, meaning that you have to have good balance, meaning that you have to have good body contact. We are already talking about a different level. We're talking about interpretation and we're talking about individualism. So we're not talking about, yes, the hip is going to be forward, the hip is going to be back, and so forth and so on. What we want to see is individualism in the performance of the couple. Yes, can we have Leonid and Sasha, please? Now, we believe this is a couple that they're dancing very elegant, but very modern. So elegant lines mean that you have maybe two different approaches. So when Leonid is dancing forward, I will count it more aggressively, but when he's going backwards and Sasha is going forward, I will give it more of a long feel. So there's an extension in the second part, in 4, 5, 6, and there's more aggressiveness in the first part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, relax. 2, 3, move. 2, 3, long. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, long. 1, 2, 3, long. 1. Thank you very much indeed. Very good. Now, anybody who's seen them on television or on whatever, various occasions, and also yesterday in practice, you will be impressed with how low people can go in their knees and how much they can put their body weight into the floor. And this is what dancing is all about, to keep your center of gravity close to the floor, to have very good balance. And this couple, Vasily and Ekaterina, I think they are famous for that, because my way of dancing always was to go into the knee, and many teachers always pulled me up and said, no, this is too low, you can make too much movement. And I'm from the generation that produces and tried to make these dynamics into, or get these dynamics into the dancing. So if we can have those wonderful couple, that wonderful couple here, and what I would do with them is to elongate, to stretch the line and the extension. Okay, can we start, please? Ah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a down and a through, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the elegance. 1, 2, 3, 4, and move 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Thank you very much. Now, if you're the judges and you have to make a decision, and you've seen, apart from differences in changes, you've seen a natural waltz, you've seen reverse waltzes, and you have to make up your mind which couple you're going to mark first, second, and third. What are you going to mark? You can go to foot technique, or you will not find a big mistake in there. You will not find that this couple is falling apart. You will not find that these couples are dancing out of time. Suddenly you're left with a very difficult decision. Of course, we all know the ranking, and we can then say, well, this is that. But what we really want to see is the differences, and we want to make a personal decision. Many judges, I think, and of course I'm included in that, they are forced with that decision to a point where they have to have an opinion. And in nowadays time, many people don't have an opinion. Many people want to have the opinion of everybody else, which I'd strongly disagree with. So we have to have our own mind. Now, what we are going to do now is do something very unfortunately to the couple. If we can have Clemens and Babsi again. Now, I'm going to play a Viennese waltz that works against what we believe is their strength. But that is a Viennese waltz that they would have to deal with if they're
so
in a
you all remember,
situation.
this is a young couple that attacks the music, is using the music on the ways of attacking it, yeah? And now we have this type of music.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I do believe that Clemens and Babsi manage this music very well, in spite of the fact that it is a little bit against their feelings and against their style. What is a very important point to remember, if you're the couple that wants to attack the music, that wants to perform into the music, and getting such a type of music that really goes against your feeling. What is important? Not to be too early. The moment you attack the first beat and you have to hold back, your style will disappear. So that was exactly what we were working last lesson on, to be slightly later and then to be able to rush into the one and to attack the one. So always remember, the music is too soft for you, you cannot perform, always be a tick later to be able to go into that.
Can we have Leonid and Ekaterina, please? Sorry, Sasha, please.
Sasha.
Sorry, that is the... here we are. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I also believe they performed very well and they managed the music very well. But if you remember, what was their strength? To interpret the music, not to have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but to have a stronger bar for Leonid and softer bar for Alexandra. Yeah? So, in case you're getting this music that really is equal, bom, 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 what you need to hear is for Leonid is the rhythm, yada-dam-dam, and for Alexandra the melody, ta-da-da. Yeah? So that is the moment we are learning to hear out of the music what we want. We don't take the whole package. Yeah? We take only what we need for our specific performance.
And finally, we have Vasily and Ekaterina.
Thank you very much. No, it's not easy to, for such an experienced couple to really do things wrong. But again, if you are getting the music that is not according to what they want, and their subject was elongation, here the one was very strong, was very powerful, was not really helping them to do the subject that we gave to them, sometimes it's a good idea to ignore the music. What I mean by that, the music here has a very strong one. You don't want that one. So you give the music the softness and elongation that the music does not have. That is called interpretation. Because people say, oh, I'm now working against the music. No. You're a part of an orchestra. You're playing with your body into the music. And you're showing the music what the music does not possess. Yeah? So that is the other way of using the music.
There's always the possibility of you have your competition, the World Championship final or the regional final championship of Baden-Württemberg or whatever it might be, and you have the right music. That is wonderful. But unfortunately, there's one snag, and I've experienced it too many times. Anything that distracts your attention at competition level is probably harmful to your performance. And we're getting much more used to things not working out perfectly well than to things working out. And there was 1 or 2 times in shows, demonstrations that we were doing together, when I thought, hey, this feels great tonight. It works. I feel good. Now, the instant reaction to that was I lost the choreography, I didn't know where I was, what I was doing, and so forth and so on. So, blackout. So what we have to do is we have to concentrate on our own feelings. We have to rely on our own feelings, on our own capabilities. And I found out that the maximum that we can do, and maximum I mean body stretch, lowering, swinging, moving, body flight, anything that we can do, we have to practice like mad to be able to experience our body and to, in a competition situation, be able to get that over to the audience and to the judges, of course, and to be successful. Now, since the audience and the judges are so important, that is over to you, because you have a very important role to play now. We're going to make sure that we do 2 bars of Viennese waltz, and you are going to count these 2 bars. There's 2 main rhythms. Viennese waltz is the standard dance that has the most different rhythms. And we can interpret so many rhythms, and we can call it Viennese waltz, but there's many, many rhythms. I want to pick up on 2. One is an aggressive 1 and 2, 3. So you really feel I pick up 1 and 1 and. So you elongate the 2, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. And the second one is the answer to that bar, or to that first aggressive bar, which is the long one. 1, da, da, 4, 5, and 6. So what we're going to do is now, you have to count that. So everyone goes 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. I count 2 bars and we start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and. Unfortunately,
I don't envy these couples that will need to dance to that afterwards.
They're going to have to dance to that. So
We not, luckily.
I do not think that you were so disappointed with these 3 wonderful couples that you don't give them an opportunity to dance their best for you, okay? They're doing this totally free of charge. They're here for you, and you're counting 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, and that's it. So we need much more enthusiasm. If you're enthusiastic about dancing, then please show it now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. This side is much stronger. What is happening over here? Okay, it's better. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. Okay, that's better, yes. Stop. You're instantly, but the moment I say stop, you stop. That's very good. If I say do something, then you think about it. That's very nice. Now we have the second bar, and we could call it, what I sometimes do, the female part of the Viennese waltz. Because we as men, we of course think we're the best in the world, and we want a lady to appreciate that we are the best in the world. So we need ladies to sigh, to be able to, it's a wonderful feeling to dance with you. So what we're going to do is, the second bar is now 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Over to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and. I shouldn't make any references to other, how can I say, activities that people can do. I do not want to have this kind of activity with the people present here in this room at the moment. So can we please exaggerate about 250 times more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. This is always the stronger part. This is amazing. Yes. Okay, what about here? Okay, we need some more. 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Okay, here we go. That's better. All right, so now there's the thing about coordination, and I hope that you will be able to shout out these 2 bars in succession without having to have a coffee in between and a rethink. So what we want you to do is the 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what we need now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Can we have all 3 couples back on the floor, please?
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry about this audience, but you will manage.
But I think the dancers need to develop. In 80s, there was a very famous workout by Jane Fonda. And what was famous about it, people that were doing the workout, they were also singing. So I think by the next group class, next WUPPERTAL, we are going to do not only the demonstration for these couples, but they should be counting for themselves as well. So I think it's the next stage.
They have to provide the,
Yeah,
they have to provide the music themselves, and they have to judge themselves as well. So have all equal winners. That's fantastic.
Exactly.
Very good. Okay, if you take up hold, here we go, start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. And 1 and 2, 3, 4. Come on. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I know we have to close it. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but many years ago, there were many more competitors. There was much more involvement probably in the dancing. And I think what we generally need for the development of dancing is we have, first of all, we have to work together. It doesn't really matter about differences or not, but we have to make sure that we are working together for the development of dance sport. That is one very important thing. We need enthusiasm. We need individualism. And everybody, it doesn't matter which class, which standard, where you're coming from and so forth and so on, everybody has something important to say about dancing. And if you can bring your own self into the dancing, you will look very different. You will, I can promise you, be successful, because successful is not only holding trophies, but also being able to show yourself and be an individual on the dance floor and in life, of course. So we need to do that, and everyone has to work on that, and everybody has to take a part in that. Okay? With these few words, and of course, thanking very much again for having the invitation to the team from the camp. And we always enjoy it here in this beautiful ballroom.
We enjoyed you as an audience. I know it's very early in the morning, but you did a very good effort, and we managed to wake you up. And thank you very much for our demonstration couples. Dankeschön, Clemens and Babsi. Большое спасибо, Леонид и Саша. Большое спасибо, Василий и Екатерина. So, Dankeschön. That was a very big pleasure to teach here and to talk to you and to talk to an audience that I think really cares about dancing. Thank you very much.